this is Coach Amber from Racquet Volleyball and Fistball Club. Today we are going over scooping. So scooping is a really interesting skill because it is a little bit more advanced than beginners when you're executing it in gameplay, but when you break it down into certain portions, you're able to modify it enough where the athletes are able to learn it as beginners. So when we teach scooping, something to remember is that this drill is going to go very quickly because it's into the net, pass, into the net, pass. So just know that you can take the time and stop them periodically to explain other things. And you don't want to go into too much detail right away because you want to give them one thing to work on, stop them for a few minutes, have them work on that, stop them again, have them work on something, because it's a very, very quick drill. It's a lot faster than even hitting, and hitting is probably one of the fastest drills that you can do. So first thing that we talk to the athletes about is how they want to set up. So big thing that I see, especially on TikTok, which drives me nuts, but that's okay, is a lot of coaches are telling athletes to face this way because in most cases they're off of the net and it's for a set or off of a pass and they're running towards the net and they tell them to scoop the ball this way. Now the issue, as you can see, is if you overrun the ball, you're potentially going to hit the net. The other issue with that is, let's say that a ball, so Coach Kelly's gonna come into the frame with me, and she's gonna hold a ball on this side of me into the net. So let's say that the ball comes straight down. If I line up perfectly, now it's gonna hit my platform, right? But let's say that the ball moves a little bit to the left or the right. If I don't line up properly, it's just gonna drop, go ahead. And now I'm not going to be able to actually do anything with the ball. So what we do to combat that is you want to actually get your body parallel with the net, so your arms are parallel. So then when you're actually doing this, if the ball shifts anywhere, now if it comes down, it might bounce off your hand or it might bounce off your biceps. You have more area that your body can actually recover the ball. And if it bounces out of the net, then you could take that step with it. So now you're able to cover about this much area versus this little tiny spot right here. The other thing is also when you're facing this direction, you're able to see where your players are. So you have a little bit more control with where you're putting the ball. So if you see that no one's ready in the middle, you might want to swing a little bit more to push the ball to your outside. Or if you have a setter coming up, you see that they're ready, you might want to try to scoop it out and put it backwards so it's a little bit closer to your setter. So depending on where you want to put the ball, you have a little bit more control as you get older because you have the visual component with your peripherals. The last thing is that this is one of the few skills in volleyball that you need to be very, very patient. So passing is one of them. The next one is when you're scooping, and this is technically a form of passing. What I mean by that is when you actually do the scooping, what you're going to see a lot of with the athletes is they're going to get nice and low, they're going to follow what we tell them to do, but then as the ball's in the net, they're going to try to attack the ball when it's still in the net. So big thing that you really want to reinforce is having a flat platform like this. And then you want to have it that they're waiting until the ball pops out of the net, so then they have the ability to swing a little bit more. If you come up now, because the net is moving, you're at risk of hitting the bottom tape because the net is doing this, because a ball just went into it. So really, really reinforce that motion of waiting as long as possible and coming up and exploding with the legs and a little bit with the arms when the ball actually contacts the arm. So when we do this, what we do is we tell the athletes to put one of their feet right next to the line, so then they know that they're not going to go under. And what you want to do is you want to lean down, and I'm going to turn this way and use this line. You don't want to squat straight down. You want to actually lean closer to the net so your shoulder is right under the net. So the only motion you have to move is out of the net. So now you're less likely to hit the net. So when they set up, they almost want to be in a light lunge, side lunge, but it's really just a little bit. It's not like an actual lunge. So if the kids need to do the full lunge to help do this motion, to understand it, that's totally fine. But you want to make sure that they're pushing off of the leg that is under the net to push their body away from the net. So when we do this, the first thing we're going to do is have the coaches tossing directly in. And what we want you to do is see what the ball does when the ball comes straight in. So Kelly's going to throw it. And notice how the ball comes in and goes straight down. Now, let's say that we have a harder angle. Bella's going to throw a ball. And notice how the ball comes in here. And because of the angle it came in, it moves along the net. So that's why it's really important that we're not coming in like this, because now, let's say that I see the ball. So if Bella comes here for a second, okay, so she's gonna demonstrate the ball that she just threw, just slowly. If I line up with the ball here and it keeps going, now I'm not gonna be able to pass that ball. So we wanna make it that our bodies are lined up so then we have the ability to recover both styles of balls coming into the net. So when we do this drill, the coach is going to be Kelly, and you're gonna just be going straight in, but we do want them to understand that the ball is going to be moving. You wanna start them in their ready positions, nice and low, more weight on their right foot in this case, and you wanna be looking up, but you wanna look like this. Okay, so once they're in their ready position, you're gonna throw the ball, wait, and then they're gonna try to catch the ball. So see how that ball was a little too far away from me? I was still able to touch it. That's all we're trying to do. This is an emergency style of play. This is not something that we want to be doing during gameplay, but if we can do it, that's totally fine, because that ball went up high enough that if I had a middle that was ready to do something, they can send that ball over and they can still keep the ball in play. So again, you wanna have it that they line up, platform down, and then you just want to come up with the ball. And I'm pushing off of my right foot, so I'm not in the net anymore. I'm coming up like this, so once the ball hits me, as I'm coming up, my momentum is coming this way. The ball is going to come off of the net more often than on the net. So thank you so much for watching, and keep watching our series.